Hai, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Siti Nur Fazli binti Manaseh. I'm the leader for Group 2. We will be presenting the title of the presentation, which is ASEAN Socio-Cultural Community, and this is my team member.
Hi and Assalamualaikum. My name is Nur Fatina bint Rahimi.
Hello and Assalamualaikum. My name is Awatif and
Hi, my name is Mastura binti Mustari.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Nurul Izzah binti Azimat.
So, let's take a look what is ASEAN Socio-Cultural Community. Let's go.
ASEAN Community consists of three pillars: ASEAN Political Security Community, ASEAN Economic Community, and ASEAN Cultural Community. ASEAN Political Securities, it was aims to bring ASEAN political and security relation to a higher plane. The ASEAN Socio-Cultural Community, ASCC, intends to contribute to realizing an Asian community that is people-centric and socially responsible, with a view of achieve enduring solidarity and unity among the nation and people of Asia by forging a common identity in building a caring and sharing society which is inclusive and harmonious, where the well-being, livelihood, and welfare of the people. Thus, ASEAN Socio-Cultural Community is focused on the full potential of citizens. They also have a vision where the environment and natural resources are protected and managed to sustain development and as a legacy for future generations. To achieve their plan, they use a magazine as a platform.
So I'll be continuing with the following point in this discussion: the factor of the issue, which is Asian social cultural community. Basically, I'll be explaining why was this community established. So let's begin with the first point, which is to encourage the development of a vibrant, peaceful community that is knowledgeable of its history, culture, and identity. To be part of our own culture, identity, and heritage is very priceless behavior as a citizen. Cultural identity is an important contributor to people's well-being. Identifying with a particular culture gives people feeling of belonging and security. It also provides people with access to social networks which provide support, shared values, and aspirations. This can help break down barriers and build a sense of trust between people. The desired outcomes recognize it is important for people to feel a sense of national identity and also to be able to belong to particular social or ethnic groups. So ASCC was developed to promote dynamic and harmonious community that is aware and proud of its identity, culture, and heritage. With this behavior, surely social networking between one Asian country and another Asian country will be connected strongly. Next, move on to the second point, which is to create community that is more capable of coping with economic and social vulnerabilities. Social economic burden, disasters, climate change could be a big challenge to certain people and the country itself. Studies show that people who lack strong social connections are also more likely to suffer from high levels of stress and inflammations and face higher risk of suicide and early death. So that's why social connections is the key. Participating in a community bonded by attitudes, values, and goals is an essential ingredient to enjoying fulfilling life. The absence of social connections can have profound effects on our overall health. For example, we as neighbors, some towns of neighborhoods are more tightly knit than others, but many people belong to a community that's formed by a virtue of a shared code or street. For some, the people you pass on the sidewalk or in the hallway every day might be strangers, but they can also be friends, or even people to turn to in times of trouble. So ASCC was built resilience community with enhanced capacity and capability to adapt and respond to these kind of challenges coming in the future. Next, the third point, which is to develop a community that is sustainable and supports both social progress and nature conservation. Sustainability is the key to a better future. The world is facing serious natural resource and environmental challenge like global climate change, freshwater depletion, ocean overfishing, water and air pollutions. The goal is to achieve harmony between environmental sustainability, economic sustainability, and socio-political sustainability. Sustainable development always encourages us to conserve and enhance our resources by gradually changing the manners in which we develop and use technologies. All countries should meet their basic need of employment, food, energy, water, and sanitation. Everybody is rightful to a healthy, safe, and clean environment. This can be easily achieved by reducing pollutions, poverty, and unemployment. So this will lead to a better community in the future. Lastly, out of all factors that I mentioned before, this is the main why ASCC was established for, which is to completely realize its goal of being people-centered and bring people cooperate together. By building community and creating the social connection and support to have more vulnerable conversation, creating spaces where open dialogue is safe and encouraged, people can deepen their understanding of one another, work together to address challenges and find the support they need to navigate tough times. As an empowering environment comes out of mutual trust and respect, which speaks to the importance of community development. In a strong community where people have opportunities to build each other up and develop trust, people feel greater confidence and engagement within the organization and on an individual level.
Okay, the first issue that happened is growth on countries' development in Asian countries have led to the problems of overpopulation. This have led to the health system to become affected since people who live in poverty or they live at isolated places does not have the alternative to receive proper medical checkup. Asian member states AMS faces difficulties in collecting health data from that situation. Due to that reason, the establishment of Asian health sector in 1980 can help AMS to know diseases that attack those people by having information and data on health checkup done so they can take action to treat diseases that emerge. Also, 20 health priorities under Asian health clusters implemented by Asian Post-2015 Health Development Agenda APHDA will help to increase the health status on the community. The second issue involved the environment. Asian countries have many natural resources, for example, forests, rubber, and fertile lands. Thus, the urbanization that happens is increasing drastically because of the need for development. This makes the resources to be used in high volume and lead to other problems other than resources depletions, such as floods, landslide, and climate change. For instance, deforestation for the use of development lands like buildings will make the lands too easily slide since it has no support from the tree's root. In Asian Social-Cultural Community Blueprint 2025, it has highlighted 4 efforts to sustain the environments, which are: first, to promote environmentally sustainable cities; second, sustainable consumption and production; third, response to climate change; and the fourth, conservation of sustainable management of biodiversity and natural resources. Okay, I will continue to the third issue, which is about haze from peatland fire that has affected many Asian countries. Did you know Asia contributes to 56% of tropical peatlands, but now there are more than 3 million peatlands hectares have been destroyed, which contributes to haze pollution. Peatland fires can give bad impact on living things' health, biodiversity, and food production if it is not overcome. Because of that reasons, there are Asian haze and peatland programs implemented to reduce peatland fire and to increase the air quality. Those programs are Asian IFAD, Measurable Action for Haze-Free Sustainable Land Management in Southeast Asia, and GEF6 Project on Sustainable Management of Peatland Ecosystems in Mekong countries such as Cambodia, Laos, and Myanmar.
I will explain to you guys about the members or the parties that involved in the ASEAN Social-Cultural Community. There are many sectors that involved in this ASEAN Social-Cultural Community. There are health sector, information and media sector, culture and art sector, education sector, yacht sector, sports sector, and many more. Now, I will talk about the health sector. In health sector, sustainable development and direction on overall implementation of the APHDA are provided by ASEAN Senior Officials Meeting on Health Development SOMHD, which is in charge of making sure that all targets and objectives are fulfilled. It is usually meets once a year through extra or special meetings that could be scheduled to tackle pressing issues. Secondly, the ASEAN Health Minister Meeting AHMM decides whereby ASEAN's health policies are approved the SOMHD judgments and observation. It will gather each 2 years by calling out the extra session to address the pressing issues. Next, the APHDA has been operationalized through the ASEAN Head Cluster. The 4 ASEAN Head Cluster are in charge of implementing the plans, strategies, and health related to the initiative that the AHMM and SOMHD have established. The corresponding work programs from each ASEAN Health Cluster are used to achieve this objective. Local programs, events, and activities that identify critical the health status requirement stated and shared by all the ASEAN member states AMS. Secondly, in culture and art sectors, the ASEAN Minister responsible for culture and arts AMCHA, whereby sectoral ASEAN organization responsible for developing regionally oriented approaches in collaboration for the arts and entertainment industries. Secondly, the Senior Officials Meeting of Culture and Arts SOMCHA, which is senior members from the ministries and agencies, is in charge of culture and arts from the ASEAN member states. AMS is to make up this ASEAN organization. Next, ASEAN Committee on Culture and Information COCI is in charge of developing, carrying out, and evaluating projects involving culture and communication for funding by the ASEAN Culture Fund, ACF. The last part for this sector is ASEAN Subcommittee of Culture, SCC, charged with developing ASEAN regional cooperation in the arts and culture under the management and authorization of COCI. Under information and media sector, ASEAN ministers responsible for information, AMRI, will implement the effective local alternative for knowledge and multimedia collaboration is the responsibility of ASEAN sectoral group and will be conducted with China, Japan, and Republic of Korea. Next, SOMRI Working Group on ASEAN Digital Broadcasting purpose and carries out digital broadcasting related activities and consists of experts in digital distribution from ASEAN member states AMS in various governments. Next, ASEAN Committee on Culture and Information COCI is in charge of developing, carrying out, and evaluating projects involving culture and communication for funding by the ASEAN Culture Fund ACF. Besides, ASEAN Subcommittee on Information SCI under the guidance and permission of COCI is assigned with fostering, enhancing, and expanding the ASEAN regional cooperation in multimedia application. The last parties that involved in ASEAN Sosio-Cultural community is sport sector. The parties that involved in these sectors are ASEAN Ministerial Meeting on Sports, AMMS, and ASEAN Senior Official Meetings on Sport, SOMS.
For my part, I will explain about the suggestion or the recommendation about the ASEAN Socio-Cultural Community and what we should do to ensure that initiative could be implemented and continue. So the first point is the role of the civil society organization CSO. What is civil society organization do? As defined as a non-profit organization of ASEAN entities, neutral or juridical, that promote, strengthen, and help realize the aim and objective of the ASEAN community and its three pillars, which is the ASEAN Political Security Community, the ASEAN Economic Community, and the last one is ASEAN Socio-Cultural Community. It performs a wide range of humanitarian service and function, bring people concerned to the government and monitor policy. For the second point, which is enhancing environmental sustainability, clean and the green ASEAN with fully developed mechanism for the environmental governance is a shared goal and responsibility of ASEAN member states. The World Summit for the Sustainable Development, WSSD, have provided the framework for the ASEAN cooperation on the environment, which currently focus on the 10 priority areas, but I will focus 5, which is first, global environmental issue, second, land and forest fire and the transboundary haze pollution, number 3 is coastal and marine environment, 4 is sustainable forest management, and the last one is sustainable management of the nature park and protect area. Now we at the third point, building community of caring society. Poverty alleviation, equity and human development are at the core of the ASEAN strong and resilient socio-cultural community. A community of the caring society in ASEAN can enhance the potential for production, consumption and wealth creation, thus ensuring the benefit from economic integration. Asian member countries will therefore strive individually and collectively to build caring society to and capable of addressing fundamental issues of poverty, equity and human development. Government and private sector, civil society will work in partnership to address this concern is likely to help ASEAN to be more aware of the surrounding society. And the last one is managing the social impact of economic integration. Are commit individually and collectively to addressing the impact of economic integration to minimize its social costs and ensure its benefits. It also has domestic policy, adjustment and emerging regional production arrangement from economic integration will have profound social impact that will be felt mostly in the labor market. To manage the social impact are promoting an efficient labor market through mutual skill recognition arrangement to enhance regional mobility that ASEAN workforce are prepared for and benefits for economic integration. Such effort will enable labor market to operate efficiently with appropriate matching of job and skill.
In the conclusion, it can show that people are impacted by Asian community planning. Three key factors in Asian social-cultural community highlighted sustainability, resilience, and inclusivity being used by Asian community as an approach to make the people centricity vision a reality. Next, they should create a strong connected with community. Activities where the Asian Foundation could play an active role include promoting access to ICT resources of differently advantaged groups, youth, women, persons with disabilities, and rural communities. By using this way, I hope that Asian culture can be bound together in partnership, in dynamic development, and in a community of caring society.